This is breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Dan Rice, live in Chopper 2, and we're over the Harlem River at the 3rd Avenue Bridge. And as you can see, the swing drawbridge portion of the bridge is, we're going to call it stuck in the open position, but the problem is it appears to be the heat is having an effect on the bridge. They did swing it to the open position to allow water traffic to go beyond the bridge here, but when they go to try to close the bridge, the problem is they're having an issue with the bridge lining up for the locking device, the mechanism you see over here on the base, the Manhattan base of that bridge. And in order to get that locking mechanism to line up with the bridge span, you can see the FDNY Marine Unit 4 down there, pouring water on the bottom of the 3rd Avenue Bridge. You can see some of that water spraying up there. When we arrived on the scene, they were actually watering down the Manhattan side of this bridge. Now, this is what they call a swing bridge, and that's because it pivots in the middle of the river to open up and close for marine traffic. The bridge, it opened up on August of 1898. It's 126 years old, and when you have heat like this on an older structure like that, it is creating a problem for them to try to get this mechanism back into place. Now, this is operated by the New York City Department of Transportation. We look down here on the bridge deck, and you can see numerous personnel, both from the FDNY and the NYC DOT on the bridge span. As a matter of fact, we see the one worker sitting on the bridge trying to keep cool in the shade there as they try to come up with a solution as to how to get that bridge back into position for vehicular traffic. Now, this is a one-way structure, meaning traffic goes from the Bronx to the Manhattan side. That's the only way you can travel on this bridge. In other words, from left side of your screen to the right side of your screen. And it's having a major impact on traffic here in the South Bronx. That's the major Deegan you see in the middle of your video there, the major highway. And you can see traffic on the left side of the major Deegan. That's East 135th Street. On the south side of it, East 134th Street. We'll come up Lincoln Avenue over here by 3rd Avenue, and you're going to see East 138th Street. And you can see all of these roadways are just jam-packed with traffic, trying to figure out another way to leave the Bronx and go over to Manhattan without having to pay the toll on the RFK Bridge. And you can see this traffic here on East 138th Street. Well, that'll take you over here to the Madison Avenue Bridge. And you can see the Madison Avenue Bridge, that's working fine. Traffic can cross that structure, but the problem is trying to get out of the Bronx over into Manhattan. That seems to be where everybody is stuck right now. You can see all that traffic waiting there by the traffic light. We see the exiting traffic from the Deacon trying to go onto the bridge. So the problem is going to be for people trying to get out of the Bronx today. Again, all this is situated around the problems with the 3rd Avenue Bridge. We come back over here to the Harlem River, and you can see that that bridge still in the trying to close position, we'll call it. When we arrived, the bridge was actually perpendicular to the river, to the other roadways, to its bases there. They started to swing the bridge over, but when they got to this position, they stopped the swing. And again, we're just watching the FDNY try to do their best to cool down the bridge, because obviously with the heat, everything on the bridge is expanding. So with the colder water, they're hoping they'll try to contract some of that metal, try to be able to get it back into the position it needs to be able to lock down the bridge. Because many times what we'll see, and a lot of times this is the problem we see on the Portal Bridge over on New Jersey Transit, that structure, they can get the bridge aligned with the railroad tracks. They can probably get this bridge aligned with the roadway, but they have to be able to lock it down to keep it into place. And if they can't lock it down, then they can't allow traffic to go over the bridge. So that's why they're trying to get the water on the bottom side of that bridge, trying to make sure they can try to cool it down as best they can. And again, we'll zoom back in and we'll show you the mechanism on the Manhattan side of that bridge. You can see those large orange and steel colored rods right there. That's what they're trying to make sure they can try to get into place. And of course, the pavement, that will also expand when you have heat like we're experiencing here in New York City today. And that just creates more problems for the folks here with the NYC DOT. And matter of fact, Tommy Burns, our pilot, I'm going to ask him to do a circle around the bridge here, and we'll move the helicopter around, try to get another position where the fire department is to show you what they're doing on that side of the bridge. That would be the south side of the structure as we come around the bridge here while it's in the open position. And as Tommy comes around, you can see the second fire boat. That unit is now trying to pour water onto the bridge. Again, just trying to attack it the best way they can. As Tommy comes around, we can see you have the DOT workers trying to direct the FDNY as to where to try to pour that water. Now they're putting it on top of the bridge on the pavement, trying to see if they can get that to react as well with cooler water. But as Tommy comes around, you can see the smaller Marine 4 there for the FDNY backing out of the way. We'll get a little bit of that glare off the water in a second as we come back around, but we can see again the other FDNY boat down here trying to get another angle on the structure itself. And again, as we approach the 4 o'clock hour, if you're just joining us here on CBS News New York, you're looking down at the 3rd Avenue Bridge along the Harlem River in New York City. This bridge connects Manhattan and Bronx, the two boroughs together. This bridge leaves the Bronx and goes into Manhattan. That's how it carries the traffic there. And it is stuck in the open position. They're unable to lock it down. As we come around here, you can see the connection points there on that bridge where they would try to lock it into place. And you can see that's why the FDNY is trying to cool down the structure there. Obviously basic science. With heat, you get expansion. And it is extremely hot in New York City today, so it would appear that heat is having a negative impact on the drawbridge there. And Tommy comes back into our position where we were before, so you can see what they're trying to do is use the water from the Harlem River to cool down the connection point on the 3rd Avenue Bridge. And this again is the Manhattan side of that bridge. The gentleman that you see there in the safety vest, those are members of New York City's DOT. They own and operate the drawbridge here, the 126-year-old structure. And you can see they're there trying to figure out how to be able to get this bridge back into its traffic operating position. And as they continue to do that, again, we'll show you the impact that it's having. Like I said, the Bronx top side of your video there, traffic is only one way, comes out of the Bronx and goes into Manhattan. And this is having a major impact on traffic around the area. You can see East 135th Street just above the Major Deacon Expressway. That is jammed with traffic. We see the other roadways down here, the Lincoln Avenue going over here to the intersection with East 138th Street. Traffic is jammed up to this area as well. So the longer they try to get this bridge into place, the more that traffic will be impacted by the closure just down the river. That is the RFK Triborough Bridge. No problem in traffic there, but of course it's a toll bridge, and most people in New York don't want to pay that toll to go from the Bronx into Manhattan, so they'll sit in that traffic to try to find other ways to be able to get to and from the two different boroughs there. But right now, this is the problem that we're going to be keeping an eye on. You can see that it looks like they have moved the bridge a little further into place. They're starting to line up the roadway with the sidewalk there. So now some of those workers are coming off. So what they'll do is they'll watch as they try to swing that bridge, or it looks like maybe they were just trying to get the workers off of the span, because now they're swinging the bridge back into the more open position. Looks like they're inspecting the structure there. And again, you can see the gentleman in the black shirt talking on his radio, trying to direct how they're operating the bridge. And you can see whatever that piece is that's on the sidewalk he just kicked, that is touching the side piece of the swing span. Now, I'm not sure if that's an indication to them whether the bridge is still too swollen to be able to get back into place. But you can see they're still working there. We can see the water coming off of the fire boats. Now it looks like both fire boats from the FDNY are trying to continue to cool down that side of the bridge and try to get it to be able to slide back into its closed position. And again, what you want with the drawbridge is you want to hear the word closed. Once the bridge is closed and locked down, they can allow vehicular traffic to be able to use the bridge again. But again, we'll keep an eye on this for a few more minutes here with you as we go into the 4 o'clock hour. And again, that's the FDR, actually that's the Harlem River Drive, coming from the George Washington Bridge down towards the FDR Drive. And clearly this is not impacting traffic on this side of the bridge, as traffic would only be exiting off of the 3rd Avenue Bridge to get onto that roadway and not the other way around. But you can see the massive amounts of water that they are pouring onto that structure to try to get it to cool down from the heat. As you see it cascading off of the swing deck. And again, we see the other workers there from the DOT trying to position pieces back into place so that they can hopefully be able to close the 3rd Avenue Bridge and get it locked down into its normal operating position. Obviously, a very delicate operation for them, but it has to be very precise in the way the mechanisms lock up, or line up to be able to lock up. And you can see them pulling on the guardrail there, trying to get that one piece back into its proper place. When the bridge started to swing back over the land, over the base, it knocked that piece out. So they're trying to, as best they can, kick it, pull it, do whatever they can to be able to put that into place. So like I said, we'll try to keep an eye on this for about another minute or so before we'll have to head back to our home airport there to get more fuel for the helicopter. And of course, as we're watching this, as this continues to impact traffic and other operations here on the Harlem River, we will be back over this at 5 o'clock tonight, our 5 p.m. newscast, and to be able to update you on the progress of the situation here again. Again, just to sum everything up for everybody, this is the 3rd Avenue Bridge. It's a swing drawbridge that connects the Bronx and Manhattan. When they opened it up for marine traffic, it got stuck in the open position. It appears they're unable to close it back into its operating configuration. So until they're able to do that, the FDNY is out here trying to cool off pieces of the bridge and the base to be able to lock it all down so the DOT can put it back into operation. You can see some of the guys walking away there. But at the moment, major traffic impact in the Bronx. And of course, like I said, we'll be back at here at 5 o'clock to be able to update you on the CBS 2 News at 5. For now, I'm Dan Rice, live in Chopper 2. We'll bring you back to your regularly scheduled programming.
This has been breaking news.